Yeah, hello, White Sox fans, and welcome to the Future Sox podcast, part of the Just Baseball Media Network. My name is Ian Eskridge, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, Mr. James Fox. Tonight, we'll be getting into some spring training talk, some draft talk, and whatever else you guys in the comments are thinking about. How are you, James?
I'm good, man. Cactus League champions so far.
World Series or bust? 3-0 White Sox. And actually they played some pretty good teams. The Cubs, the A's, and today the Brewers. And they haven't looked like outmatched,
No,
really. It's
no,
been
it,
it's been nice.
it likely doesn't mean anything, but like 2 years ago when they were awful, they looked awful. Like in the spring, it was like, wow, this team is horrendous with 95 guys in camp, and then they won 41. You know what I mean? So at least yeah, like they're gonna be in baseball games. I think they're gonna be interesting. Um, I mean, and this is like good for our purposes. I know like we look at that lineup every day. You see who like potentially might come into the game or who might pitch, right? And so that's cool. It's like been a lot of prospects so far. I saw people complaining that like Colson Montgomery wasn't in the lineup. People were like, "What's wrong with him?" I'm like, "Probably nothing. I don't know. Like it's spring trading. It's like it's like and they have to like what prioritize Mune right now too, right? And I would imagine what Teal and Antonacci too, because those guys are all leaving soon.
Yeah. Well, luckily, I will get into the offense stuff here in a few minutes, but Antonacci has
Yeah, that
has
was
gone
fun.
off. He's hitting home runs. He's running the bases like Sam Antonacci does, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that homer was like harder hit than any ball Chase Meidroth like ever hit in his life.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, I we might as well get into that a little bit, like right off the bat. There was some Twitter discourse on Chase Meidroth this week, and the fact that Chase Meidroth gets mentioned every single time somebody talks about the core, and we're talking about people that matter, Chris
mhm.
Getz and Will Venable. When those guys talk about who the core of the team is, Chase Meidroth is always mentioned. Your thoughts on him going forward? Like we've talked about this before, but and I've seen your opinion on Twitter. I'm pretty sure that I know exactly what you're going to say, but go
Yeah.
ahead and put it out there
No,
anyway.
I think shockingly, I don't know if anybody complains that we feel similar too often, but I mean, I think it's going to happen again here. I think he's fine. Like, I hope he's good. I do think he's like ultimately replaceable because he's probably a second baseman. So like, I just like don't know how good he is. Can your utility guy be a part of your core? If that's yes, then okay, fine. Like, because I just don't know that like the second base job is his. Like in Penn, is it? Because there's so many guys, and look, they're not all gonna make it, right? But like we're gonna get to the shortstop that they're gonna take in July, right? They have Caleb Bonham, who's look probably not second, but I mean, like you have Antonacci knocking on the door. You have any number of other middle infielders like in your system that could come up and play. So my thing is like he needs to be a lot better to be considered like definitely part of the future core. In my, like yeah, I thought it's a little. I mean, I like him. I'm glad he's like on the team. I think he's probably more of like a 9 hitter than a 1 hitter. Um, but yeah, no, I don't think he's like a like safe really at all. I kind of think it's like Miguel Vargas kind of. I mean, he has more options, right? So it's and they acquired him, so he's like a little bit interesting. But I mean, yeah, like definitely understand the people that think it's like Sam Antonacci's job ultimately to lose at some point.
I'm going to bring up this super chat here from Emiliano.
Oh
Says,
man,
I spoke
nice.
to Chalowski the other day, told him I am a White Sox fan. He said, see you in Chirac, little bro.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to that. Like he
Yep,
just
we
seems,
will.
like like this doesn't really seem like it needs to be this much of a secret, but things like this are weird and nobody wants to curse or jinx anything. But
Yeah. You see it in the comments in here. One thing that I did see in the comments that says that Chase is much better at second base than Antonacci. I would say hold your horses. Let yourself see some more Sam Antonacci before you go ahead and make those statements, because I wouldn't go that far. I'd say maybe Chase has a slight edge over Sam Antonacci as far as fielding goes, but it's not much. And the thing is that mentally they are the same player. Physically, they are not the same player. Sam Antonacci's got a little bit more speed. Sam Antonacci's got you've seen that he can tap into his power. He did put on a little bit of muscle in the offseason. I know we always talk about best shape of their lives type thing. But I think that Sam Antonacci is probably what you were hoping that Chase Meidroth was going to be, at least from what I've seen so far throughout their time with the White Sox organization.
Yeah, I mean, last year, what Meidroth, he did put up, he was like a positive WAR season. He was like 1.3 F WAR, but it was only like an 87 WRC plus, basically because he hit 250 with a 329 like OBP. He's not going to be a home run hitter, right? So I just feel like he has to be on base like a ton, right? And if Chase Meidroth is like a 115 WRC plus guy, yeah, he is probably like a 3 WAR player. I mean, you know, and then he's fine. But Antonacci's left-handed again, and I think there's a ton of middle infielders in the system where if he's not consistently like really good, like he could get replaced at some point. So yeah, like he's like one of the guys, right? But I think like I don't know, do you consider Murakami part of the core, or is that just like everybody thinks that short term, right? Like I think it's both catchers and Colson for me are like the primary guys. And I think we'll probably get into Edgar Carroll a little bit. But yeah, I just it's I don't know. I just like don't know how much impact it is. But I've said the same thing about Antonacci. I know that you and I have kind of like we have people here with us that like really really love Sam Antonacci, and it's just like a profile thing for me, right? Like if he's gonna hit balls 110 all the time, then it like changes things for me, right? Like can you be Ben Zobrist? That would be tremendous, right? I just didn't think it was that much physicality. I thought it was more of this like my draw style type thing. So seeing how
Yeah.
Antonacci looks is pretty impressive to me.
Yeah, I mean, he looks a little bit more physical in the box so far. I mean, granted, we're talking we've seen him twice in spring training, so we'll see how that goes. But uh, just overall, I think he's a little bit more physical in the box, and I said this same thing about Jacob Amaya last year, um, in regards to Chase Meidroth. Sometimes it almost looks like the baseball is impacting his bat more than the bat is impacting the baseball, and that's where I have an issue with him.
Yeah, and it definitely. I mean, look, like what he did in the minors, like he wasn't really able to do last year, right? Because so like the argument is obviously it's like a Nick Madrigal type thing, right? Like guys, like he walked a lot because like he would just take a lot of pitches. But in the big leagues, if pitchers don't think that you're gonna like impact the baseball, they're just gonna throw you strike. They're not gonna throw you balls. So it's just kind of that sort of thing. But look, they seem like very excited about him. He was, the third piece in that trade. So look, if he's like a 2 WAR infielder and a backup, like as the third piece in the Garrett Crochet trade, it's like pretty good. Like I don't think he's gonna like not be on the team. I just don't know that I'm like he's gonna be their second baseman for 10 seasons.
Right. And since I had originally planned on starting on pitching, but since we're talking about offense here, um, I'll bring up somebody that was mentioned in the chat here, William Bergoya, now William Bergoya Jr. That guy's hitting the ball all over the place, and he's done nothing but hit the ball all over the place for the White Sox since he was acquired for Tanner Banks of all people. It's pretty much just another one of those guys, and the thing is that I feel like he's got a better glove probably than Meidroth. He's faster than Meidroth. Um, I don't know if he can hit better than Meidroth, but I mean it's at least almost the exact same thing. So it's just another one of these guys that just kind of log jams in the system.
He definitely has a better glove at shortstop, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
like he can't hit. Well, I don't know that he can't hit. He doesn't hit for power. The knock was that like he could definitely play short and he can hit like a bunch of singles for you and then it wouldn't be any impact, right? But if that changes, like he's a definite shortstop. So like he's definitely a prospect for sure. And he's only like 21 years old. So yeah, I think he's your typical like defensive minded utility backup. But again, like similar to Antonacci, like if he plays a full season at Charlotte, like we've seen that place play, man. Like you want another Jacob Amaya reference? Like that dude hit 10 bombs there. Like so
Exactly. Chase Meidroth
if
hit
that
like
dude can
8.
hit right, like if that dude can hit 10 bombs there, like Antonacci's gonna hit 24 homers, and we're all gonna be like, "Oh my god!" Like this guy's like the ball just like carries in the sky. So
Yeah,
like if what like
yeah,
Bergoya will if Bergoya doesn't have any minor league homers, he'll get his first ones like when he's a member of the Charlotte Knights.
I think he's got like
Does he
I
got a
think with the
couple? I think
White
he's got a
Sox
few.
he's got
Yeah,
like 1
yeah.
maybe. Yeah.
And
All
his
right.
dad was a big leaguer. I think like even like coming out of the international market, it was all like slick fielding defender. Let's find out if he can hit type of thing.
Yeah. I think it's with him it's he's kind of one of those guys that probably going to see more minor league time as opposed to a guy like a Sam Antonacci where they'll feel more comfortable letting him roll through a little bit quicker, I think. Just
Yeah.
because the power tool is probably a little bit more. Somebody had mentioned, what the issue was with Sam Antonacci's stuff that doesn't track in the bigs. It's not that it doesn't track. They just kind of probably are hoping it's probably the exact same thing that they said to Meidroth last year is that they wanted him to tap into his power a little bit more.
Yeah,
Just my
like
guess.
don't take pitches that you can drive, basically, is what it is. And then, you're stuck like getting into deep counts and like swinging at something you don't want to swing at. I mean, to me, it was always about like how much impact is it going to be, right? If it's all singles and walks, like, yeah, that's great. But you can't have two guys that are like that. I think we both made the comment like, I mean, you just like you can't have 1,200 plate appearances and like 12 homers combined or 10 homers combined. Well, I mean, look, it's spring training, right? But if Antonacci can do, I mean, if it's like 12 to 15 homers, he's like a regular. I mean, like because he can play 3 or 4 different spots and he's gonna walk a ton and get on base like a lot. So there was a really good. I don't know if Margolis or Fegan wrote it, but they made reference to like Antonacci being right up on the plate, you know, and it said like, oh yeah, and you can't even like throw it inside and hit him because it's like his idea of like don't threaten me with a good time like type of thing.
Yeah.
It was like he's like that's fine, like this is where I'm gonna stand.
Yeah, he doesn't mind getting hit by pitches. As long as he's one of those guys who just as long as he gets on base, he's good. He just wants his team to win, and you need plenty of guys like that that are willing to do that kind of thing, and take one for the team instead of make you know personal decisions that are
Yeah, yeah.
career long decisions.
Yeah, so I know we don't think like I mean Antonacci's like not going to make the team, right? But like,
No,
is he in Charlotte playing all over the place? You think? Because there are like you would think that Bergoya will also graduate to Charlotte. They haven't given up on Jacob Gonzalez, right? So he will likely be there. And then I don't think Tanner Murray makes the Sox, and he has options, I believe. So he's probably there too. So I just think there is like Antonacci is the most important, so he'll play. I'm just curious to see if that's left and third and second, and just like kind of like all over the place.
yeah, no, yeah, I pretty much agree with that. Um, last year we had thought possibly that Meidroth might make the team straight out of spring training as well last year, and he still ended up going back to Charlotte for I don't know 3 weeks or a month
Yeah,
or something like that. So
to work on his service time. Oh, sorry.
yeah,
They're like go
mastered his
down and
service
master
time.
your craft for 2 weeks. I knew
Yeah.
that if I brought up Jacob Gonzalez or Hagen, we'd see Trey in the comments. Hi Trey.
So Jacob Gonzalez has gotten some innings in over the last couple of days. I kind of actually one of the I wonder now. I know that they haven't given up on him yet, but him playing this early, is that them saying you better impress us early if you want to stick around for camp longer?
I don't know, man. Like, you know how like first round picks have like 9 lives, right? Like I just kind of feel like Jacob Gonzalez is going to play in the big leagues, like just because like guys that go 15th overall play in the big leagues. Now that doesn't mean he stays in the big leagues. I just it's like, and maybe it's not even an opportunity here. I just like, yeah, man. I just don't know like what he does for you over guys that they already have. I mean, is it just a matter of like Antonacci is going to be gone soon and Jacob Gonzalez is gonna, gonna be there as one of these like backup type guys? Um, I don't know. I mean, it is pretty. He is getting a lot of run early. I did not expect to see Jacob Gonzalez like this much.
I did not either. Um, yeah, so you've had Teal in there a couple of days. Um, he only played DH today, and he got quite a few at bats. Um, I was actually kind of surprised that Teal didn't catch today, but I guess they got we're 3 games in. We've had 1 day of Teal, 1 day of Caro, and
Mm-hmm.
1 day of Lee.
Did Lee catch
Now
today?
he did, yeah.
I think it'll be interesting to see how much they catch Lee, and if that has anything to do with like them like shopping him.
It might. He
Because
threw out
look,
2 runners today, so that was nice.
because I don't think they'll DFA him. I kind of feel like it's one of these things where like if they can't trade him, they'll keep 3 catchers, and I don't know what that means for like somebody else on the roster, right? Um, but because they're not going to worry about Lee sitting 4 straight days and pinch hitting, or you know what I mean. He would just like be like in case something happens, guy. Um, but yeah, I mean, he's just another guy that's out of options. You're gonna have like all these like spring storylines take care of themselves eventually here.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think that the talent pool is such that like we could sit here and talk about this for the next month and still not have any clarity on who's actually going to stick around into the
Right,
season.
right, and they could make like 2 trades like right before the Milwaukee series, and all of a sudden like Tanner Murray's your utility guy because they love him. Like I don't know, I just made that up, but like it could just like Lenine. Like what does Lenine do for you? He's just like gonna come in and try to mash homers, not walk, not play defense. Like just like Benintendi, they're scared to death to play in the outfield, so he's got to play some DH. I think like Edgar Caro is going to force his way onto the field somehow, and you can't play 2 catchers at the same time, So that could quickly turn into like your best 9 involves Caro and Teal, which I think most people like think anyway. I don't know. I kind of like the vibes around Edgar Caro right now. I like what he did in the offseason. I like how young he is. Like I like what he showed last year, and I think we both think he's way better than that even. Um, and it seems like everybody kind of has Teal penciled in as like maybe the best guy on the team, and like I don't even know if he's the best catcher they have.
I'm a Caro guy, and I've unapologetically been that since he's been around, even after we acquired Teal. I'm an Edgar Caro guy. I know Teal is the guy who's always like pumping his fist and DJ Bass Monkey playing acoustic guitar on the stage at Sox Fest. Like he's Mr. Popular. I'm still a Caro guy.
Yeah, yeah. Joe said Caro's still only 22. I think I mentioned this last week. Like the 2030 defending World Series champion White Sox. Like Edgar Caro is going to be 26 years old, like in 2030. It's
Yeah.
absolutely insane.
Yep. He's the kind of guy that you can keep around forever if you really want to. He could be, I'm not going to throw this number out there or this name out there um, seriously, but I mean, like a Yadier Molina, where you've got this guy for his entire career. He's the kind of guy that could possibly do something like that. The bat's good enough.
Yeah.
Just wait to see whether the power is going to show up
Yeah,
like
I
that
mean,
or not.
and that's the thing that's interesting, right? Is like what he does against right-handed pitching. Like are you going to get to a point where you want to play Caro and Teal against righties? You know, like if you sit Teal against lefties and like Caro always catches, that I think that makes some sense. Like Caro destroyed left-handed pitching last year.
Yep.
But do you get to the point where you want him in the lineup against every righty? Well, then that becomes a little bit difficult, right? Because Benintendi has to move to left field then. Um, so yeah, it's just not super easy, but I think they'll figure out how to get their best guys on the field.
Yeah. Doug says the Sox cut an Andrew last year. Do you think they will do it again this year?
No, I don't. I just think it's too much money for that. I think like maybe in 20, I think next year maybe at some point. I wish they would, because I just like think Benintendi's kind of useless personally, but I don't see it.
Just clogs the roster. You know, he really limits what. And you know, like you would think that Will Venable would be the first guy that would be on the bus saying, "Hey, get rid of him so I can actually do stuff with my roster," because you really can't with Benintendi on this roster. He's not good in the field, so you don't want to play him in left field really. If you do, you get markedly worse.
Yeah.
And it's possible he could go and get 25 home runs this year, but really, who cares
Yeah, I mean,
if
he
it's
hit.
at if it's at the behest of the development of the other players.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like people that think he was a good like so he hit 20 homers last year, and his WRC plus was like 100. It was like 100. It was like league average because he's like unplayable against lefties. He can't play any defense. I just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I saw
Uncle
that
Ted.
Eloy homer today. Eloy looked like peak Eloy today.
Yeah, and I did hear that Spencer Jones is now Shohei Otani.
Oh yeah, he homered.
So that's something, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well.
Uncle Ted also says, "Let Benny be Schwarbombs," and I don't think that anybody has stood in the way of Andrew Benintendi being Kyle Schwarber up to this point. Um, but if there is somebody in the front office that is standing in the way of Andrew Benintendi being Kyle Schwarber, I would suggest that they do get out of the way.
Yeah. I think I recall seeing a reply from Uncle Ted on Twitter today about Colson Montgomery being way better than Rock Chalowski.
Okay. Well, you do know that Rock Chalowski is
Or
not
no, it
left-handed.
wasn't a no, it wasn't that. It was no, it's not about Rock, I'm sorry. It was that Colson is better than Connor Griffin. That's what it was.
Okay.
Connor Griffin's right-handed. I
That
was
is
kind of like
always a negative.
riling up the natives a little bit. Did you see that? It's fun occasionally for me. Like I
Yeah,
got
no, absolutely.
a lot
Yeah.
of free time on the weekends, and
Engagement.
yeah, and people take the bait, but like so Just Baseball had their top 10. They had like a graphic with their top 10 prospects on it, right? And two of them are Connor Griffin and JJ Weatherholt. And the White Sox took Hagen Smith over both of those guys. And I just made that comment, like the White Sox
That
took
is
Hagen
a
Smith
fair comment. I saw it.
over both of these guys, and they also took Jacob Gonzalez over like three of the other 10. I think it was like Aiden Miller, the Emerson from Seattle, and then McGonigal too. McGonigal was a second rounder. So look, yeah, some of those guys maybe like weren't supposed to go 15, right? But it doesn't matter. Like I had somebody arguing with me today, like, they were talking about Hagen. They're like, well, consensus, like you wanted him to take a guy worse in Griffin than Hagen. And I'm like, well, yeah, like Hagen was ranked higher, like if you look at draft rankings. But like that doesn't matter. Like the team drafting has to be smart. Like they should still be like, I mean, Hagen can still be good, but I mean, I think it's safe to say that like he's not going to be one of those two guys.
Yeah. It's one of those things where there is the projectable and there's also the thought from I would assume from Chris Getz. Now I haven't heard I don't think that I've seen him specifically say it, but I didn't, I do remember hearing him say that, he needed a win.
Yeah, I don't think any of that stuff's like on record, but we've talked about it here, you know? Like I think it's like look, I get it, right? Like they didn't have a director of hitting. There were all sorts of questions about Connor Griffin's swing and he played in Mississippi and like there were some like apparently there was like some medical red flag on Weather Holt, right? So yeah, like if you're Chris Getz and people are telling you like Hagen's an ace, well, we've developed lefties before. Like I understand how you get there. You just have to be right, and it doesn't look like they're right at this point. So that's it. Like it's fine. Like I totally understand where like I get it. I got it that night. Like I was like okay, like we didn't really talk about this, but like sure. Um, but that doesn't change the fact that like two of the guys you passed on, like one of them's the number one prospect in baseball and like maybe the best prospect since Mike Trout, and the other guy is like top five and like might win Rookie of the Year in the National League.
Yeah, but like you said, I understand how he got there. That he was afraid that they would not be able to develop Griffin because of his arm bar. But as Ted mentions in the comments, then the next year they went and they drafted Carlson. Granted, I'd say the glove is slightly above Griffin's at shortstop, but I mean the
Yeah.
rest of the package for Griffin is it's something.
Could you see this from Trey? Pull this up if you see it. The where he said some dude said James. So he said, yeah, Trey says some dude said James was only doing that in hindsight. Yeah, like it was kind of weird. Like it's like that guy on Twitter that's like his handle's like non-arguer and then all he does is argue. Um at least with me.
Go figure.
Maybe it's just with me. He doesn't like my face or my takes or something, which is totally fine. But no, Trey, exactly. Like if anybody listened to this show, right? We talked about Connor Griffin every week, like on this show.
We did.
Like and it wasn't like, hey, I'm smarter than that. It wasn't even that. They were like linked to him. Like the Griffin family thought he was going to Chicago. This was like a kind of a stunner that it was Hagen. But hey,
Yeah.
look, I hope I'm also the guy that thinks that like Hagen Smith could be in the big leagues on like May 15th. So like I don't think it's like a total lost cause, but this one's gonna hurt, I think.
Yeah, Trey mentions that he wanted Cags.
Yeah. Well,
See how that works out too.
fine. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
totally fine.
I don't think so, Danny. I don't think that's who it is. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. Um
It's not. No,
so
Danny, it's not.
yeah. Um other guys that have had pretty good offensive 3 games here so far. I mentioned Bergoya already. Braden Montgomery's got a triple and a single. He's looked halfway decent. Brooks Baldwin had a bomb, and it was pretty well hit. It was stroked.
You know what I didn't
Uh,
realize? I didn't
yeah,
realize how good he was in the second half.
yeah.
Like
I mean,
offensively, like he hit
the
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 snot out
problem
of the
is
ball.
is that people can't look past him dropping a couple fly balls in the outfield.
Well, yeah, I mean he'd never played outfield before. Like I don't care about
Yep,
that. Yeah, but he can hit though. I mean he's always been able to
yep,
hit.
yep. Yes, indeed. Quote from Venable said he didn't know what he was doing last year.
I mean, that's. I mean, yeah, that's fair. Like,
First time, man. First time.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, it was. So what we were saying, it was Grady Sizemore 2.0 last year. He was the manager,
yeah.
basically. Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's going to take him a little bit of time to get his whole thing sorted. He said his camp that he ran last year was a little bit different. He's a little bit more comfortable this year, so things are
Mm-hmm.
running a little bit differently. I think
And
that's
I know
fine.
Butera like put together the camp last year. So
Yeah. Baseball mentions the tall guy on UCLA is nice.
I think
Will
is Ian, is
Gasparino.
that your guy? Yeah, Will Gasparino.
That's one of my guys. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Yeah, so
He's fun, and he's draft eligible sophomore.
so he struggled. Another guy who didn't turn pro out of high school. His dad works for the Dodgers. and then I think he went to Texas, and then this is his
Yep.
first year at UCLA, hitting
Harvard Westlake guy.
hitting behind Rock Cholowski. So
Far behind. He's the 8 hitter.
yeah,
It's crazy.
it is. The team is loaded.
Sorry about that.
Hey, has a Big Ten team ever won the national title? Somebody find out.
Oh,
I don't think
I'd
it's.
have to look.
I don't think they have. Now it's kind of weird, right? Like calling like UCLA, whatever. But
Danny asks, what are the chances that Baldwin's developing into a good outfielder?
I don't know. I mean, good.
He's pretty
like,
good in the infield.
Yeah, he is good in the infield. To me, I think I think he's better in center than he is like in the corners. But I mean, he kind of that's the thing we kind of talked about last year with him is that like basically for him to be a big leaguer, he has to be able to play the outfield, right? So like I was willing to give him some leeway like on a bad team, and he had never really played it. I mean, he was like a shortstop at UNC Wilmington. And what do we always say? Shortstops can play anywhere, right? But like
Put him anywhere.
he still needs the reps. So yeah, like I think Baldwin's probably a super utility guy. But if he can play like okay everywhere, I think he'll hit enough to like stay in the majors for a while.
Yep. Dove Man, Peter's swing looks good. Did we trade for him? Yeah, we traded for him for cash from the Rays.
Yeah, he was like DFA'd by the Rays, and I do think he has options. So he could be the center fielder
You know what?
in
I didn't look
Charlotte.
at.
Yeah,
Keep
I think
on meaning to look at the roster resource, but I
yeah,
keep forgetting.
I think he has an option, which is why like trading for him makes some sense. Everson Pereira, who is apparently injured to start camp, but everybody's like raving about Everson Pereira and how good he looks. He is
Injured
out.
already.
He is out of options. So that's a little bit more interesting.
Out of options and out of healthy bone or healthy muscles apparently as well.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. They said he has like what, like a sore. His side is sore.
Yeah.
No,
Which
we
actually
have a long
is.
time. So
I'm trying to find the Tristan Peters thing here, but I can't seem to find him. He's somewhere on here, and it's going to take
usually
me
just
too long.
I can do it. Like the first page of Fangraphs tells you whether they have options or not.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just generally scroll through the roster
No, it's fine.
resource. Takes too long.
Tristan Peters, and I'll tell you what, like they've got a lot of guys from Tampa Bay, like that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, so Kev mentions that Michigan was the runner-up like 6-7 years ago. That was when Chris, what's his name, was their pitching coach.
Yeah, Chris
And
Fetter. Yeah,
Chris Federer, and then Cubs dude Nagu or
oh yeah. He was
Nawagu.
Jordan Wagyu. Yeah,
Yeah, he was on that team.
Tristan Peters has 2 minor league options. So
Well, heck yeah.
so they can keep
Well,
him on
he's
the
sticking
roster if they
around.
like him, and he can be in Charlotte type of thing. The other thing, so I know that Garrett Cole went number 1 like out of UCLA in the draft, but I don't know that a Big Ten player has gone number 1 in the baseball draft either, which it's weird,
That
right? It's like a Pac-12
actually
guy.
brings
Like,
up
it's very strange, but
this from Doug right here. UCA isn't really a Big Ten team.
Well, I mean,
I'm on board.
No, I get it. Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, like the whole like landscape of conferences in college over the last 15 years because of TV deals,
right, it's all TV money. Yep, the whole thing.
It's so obnoxious, and like all of the rivalries are all kind of weird now. It's like when the Blackhawks lost the Red Wings as a division rival, It's just it doesn't work right.
Well, so I'm too young to remember Sox Brewers.
Yeah, that's early 80s stuff, but
like
yeah,
my dad
that was
often
fun.
talks about Sox Brewers and how when the teams were good, it was fun.
Yep, mid 80s, that was good stuff. I think I went up to County Stadium quite a few times with my dad for Brewers White Sox games back in the day. Let's see. Tom says, "I wish they tried Baldwin at second some." I mean, he's had his run in the infield a little bit. Unfortunately, all the guys coming up behind him
Yeah,
are the guys who kind of knocked him out.
lot of second basemen.
Cole Tony here is did you hear what Jeff Kent said on TV today about A-Rod?
I did not. This is probably good because Jeff Kent's kind of a bag. So, like,
Unfiltered.
yeah. What?
Yeah, so he was mad about A, and it's like happened 30 years ago, and he's bringing up on the broadcast about A-Rod sliding into him on like a double play,
Yeah.
and then said that he used to aim in between guys' eyes so they would get
Mm,
down. I mean, it's stuff that you would expect out of a Jeff Kent. It's
yeah.
pretty funny.
Yeah. What was he like? Isn't he the one who like went on the DL because he like fell off his truck or something? He said.
He said that he was washing his truck and that he
Yeah.
slid under his truck, but he was actually riding a motorcycle.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he was
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He fell off of his. He fell under his truck. Yes.
Yeah. I personally, I know that the guy's a bag, but I always thought that he belonged in the Hall of Fame
Oh yeah, good,
personally.
really good player. Like,
Yeah,
and that
such
was
a
like
good.
and that was in an era where second baseman sucked,
Yep, exactly.
and he was like
Exactly.
unbelievable.
He was the best second baseman that was pretty much out there for like 5, 6 years in a row. Not anybody in his way. And he couldn't get elected by the press because they all hated him. Something in the water there in San Francisco, I
Mhm.
guess. Well, let me see here. Let me scroll down here. I've missed a bunch
Yeah,
of
is there
stuff in the
anything good?
chat.
Guys, we're gonna do a bunch of Chalowski stuff and talk about the draft notebook like later. I'm not ignoring that stuff.
All right. Well, I guess
Uncle Ted Ace Reese is eligible this year. He'll probably go like 10 to 20 range.
yeah. Let's see here. All right, so I'm all caught up. Um, so I just wanted to bring up some of the pitching here that we saw over the last 3 days. Jonathan Cannon made the first start against the Cubs. He looked like Jonathan Cannon. Gave up a home run and a walk. Extended his pitching counts. Um, Pretty much what I expected.
Yeah, Cannon's gonna have a tough time making the team. I think Cannon like opening night starter in Charlotte. You know, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I kind of think he's. I mean, we've kind of gone through um, in the back room of FutureSox headquarters. We've kind of
Hmm.
gone through and figured out what we've got for rotations and who's going to end up where. I don't think we'll ever release it, but we're just kind of thinking about it. I think we'll wait until probably won't ever put that out, but I think we're pretty close. I think Cannon's probably
Yeah.
in
So
Charlotte.
my thought is like there's like that week where like the big leagues start and none of the other guys have. I think we can do that on like a we'll do that like on a mid to late March show where we try to piece together the rotations. There's just way too many guys. Like you think about 4 affiliates is 20 guys, right? There's way more than 20 starters. So it gets like kind of difficult. Like I tried doing it the other day. It's like where are these there's just like such a log jam like an A ball that it's like what are they gonna do with all these guys?
Yeah, there's I feel like, and the problem is that with the injuries, it's weird because you don't have. Do you think this is because um, we have lost the Great Falls Voyagers, so we're not able to run through these guys and kind of strain, run guys through the colander earlier to get rid of the guys that you don't think are going to make it.
Yeah, I think that's why. And I think there's like a bunch of dudes that are basically like gonna have to be in Birmingham, like Aldrin Bautista, and you'll have some other people like repeating there where you'll have guys in high A that should probably be in Birmingham. They just have so many college guys that should move quicker, but they're not as important as other guys, like as bad as that sounds. So then they kind of like get stuck, like where it's like, and they drafted 5 starters in last year's draft, and
I don't think.
I
I
don't
don't
know
think
if
so.
any of them are a priority. That's what I mean. Like Gabe
Yeah.
Davis, I think probably starts, but like the other guys, are they in the like? I just don't know. I just like to, and you have like a whole rookie ball team to create, but you generally there will have Blake Larson and last year's entire DSL team. So Yeah, it's gonna be wild, like figuring out all the pitching.
Yeah. I don't know what to tell you there, Danny. Danny says, and
They
MLB
do,
wants to
yes.
eliminate more affiliates.
They
Well,
want
it
to
certainly
eliminate more
seems that way.
affiliates. Yes.
All right. So Riley Gowans came in and pitched 1/3 of an inning to finish for Jonathan Cannon, and he did his job and looked like Riley Gowans.
He did.
We had Tyson Miller come in. Tyler Schweitzer pitched 2 innings, 2 hits and a walk, 2 strikeouts.
Saw that.
Extended his pitching count a little bit. His command was kind of a little bit all over the place for a little bit. Jairo Iriarte, 2 strikeouts in
He threw
his
a
1
pitch at
inning.
96.
He did.
We're getting back. We're getting there.
I it's early in spring training, so I guess it is fair to say that he might be getting back to 97-ish, I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we're looking for, right?
Right. And he's just like, they're just going to tell him to go sit down in the bullpen and throw fire and see see if you can get some of it back.
I would hope so. Let's see. We got Ben Peoples, 2 strikeouts in an inning.
He's funky, man.
Yeah, a little bit. Then Zach Franklin, he was actually all over the place, which is not normal for Zach Franklin. Although,
yeah, not at all.
I kind of felt like his velocity was running a couple miles an hour back from what I'm used to seeing. I'm pretty sure I'm used to seeing his fastball around 93, 94, and he was at 91, 92. So I think that probably doesn't help his case, but his splitter did look very good. And then we saw Jackson Kelly to finish the day. He had an inning and a strikeout. He looked all right. Any thoughts from any of those guys, really?
No, I saw like a Wickelman Gonzalez inning too.
Yeah, that's the next. That was the
so
next
that's
day.
the next group.
Yeah, that was against the A's.
Yeah, so Schweitzer, I thought was interesting. Just like, is he going to be like a full time reliever? Are they going to let him start? It's back into the it's back into the just like same question that we just had, like with the amount of starters they have, right? Like, are they gonna? And he's in that like Rule 5 40-man type group, right? Like, do you just, hey, like, does his fastball get up to like 97, 98, like in relief? And do they just kind of make that conversion sooner than maybe they need to?
Yeah, speaking of, so Chris Murphy pitched last pitch with the Red Sox, had TJ in 24, came back. He was pitching for the Worcester Red Sox last year. 2 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 K. He looked pretty decent, I think. It's kind of one of those things where I would imagine that he's going to end up in Charlotte as well, probably.
Yeah, I mean, they traded for him, but he does have options. So there's like a lot of guys that don't have options, basically. I think if him and Newcomb are your lefties out of the bullpen, that's like not bad. But they could also try to keep a different guy or slide a guy through and send Murphy down to start just because he has options.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's also
Jordan Hicks.
He's also in the pile of starters, by the way. They have like 12 starters, and Chris Murphy's one of them. So
yeah, the 24 starters that they're trying to stretch out.
Yeah, everybody's competing for a starting spot, even though they have 5 spots locked up already. So
keep on upping that number every single time we talk. Might as well, right? Jordan Hicks hit 99.9 in his first inning, and it's been said that he's going to hit 105 at some point.
Cool.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
he looked all right. 1 inning, 1 K. I'll take
he's been
it.
bad recently, but if they can get him back to what he was, it'd be interesting.
That would be awesome.
Vince, you're thinking of Jonathan Stever.
Jonathan Stever.
He had some upside. It's just derailed by injuries totally.
Shoulder injury. Yep. Poor guy. Felt bad for him because he looked like he was going to be somebody, and then he just fell apart with that shoulder injury and could never get healthy again. Let's see. Wickelman Gonzalez, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 K. Duncan David, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Alexander Alberto made a appearance.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes. Speaking of funky, I know you had like seen him pitch before because you've like seen everybody pitch before, but like when they drafted this kid, right? Like I knew nothing about him other than Bannister saying that he's like, gets 1,000 feet of extension and throws 100-mile-an-hour cutter, right? So I don't know what I was totally. I think I was like expecting a not so skinny person.
Yeah, yeah,
He's just
he's
like
sticky.
so angular and just like yeah, but that's I get the appeal. I get where like he could be like totally disgusting and awesome or like gone in like a week and a half. Like it's just kind of like one of those things.
Yeah, I kinda after seeing Alberto, I was wondering we're sitting here trying to figure out whether these guys are gonna fit into our top 30 or not, and immediately upon seeing Alberto, I was kinda like,
You took him
"Well,"
off right away.
I didn't take him off right away, but I was kinda like, "Okay, this is." I was expecting I felt like he needs to knock loose the cobwebs, and I'll have to see him pitch a couple of times more, I think.
Yeah, and I'm curious, like him and like Paez hasn't thrown yet, right? But like
Nope.
those guys, I mean, like you'll those guys will be kept until the end of camp. Like you're gonna have like 30 guys on the 26 man, and they're gonna be two of them, and they're gonna like try to figure out like what to do with them, basically.
This one right here hurts my feelings.
Alec Hansen, I loved Alec
Oh,
Hansen.
man, I felt terrible for that guy.
He was so good sometimes though.
Yep. Until he completely fell apart, and then he was part of that inning where the Birmingham Barons walked 13 people in 1 inning, and it
Yeah.
was at that point that I was like, "Yeah, he's probably done."
Oh yeah, that was rough.
Yeesh.
Somebody asked about David Sandlin. David Sandlin will likely be in the Charlotte rotation. So last year, and we'll get into this obviously in further episodes, and we'll have Jeff on, but like there were literally like weeks last year where Charlotte didn't have a starting pitcher. Um, I don't think it's gonna be like that this time. Like they are loaded with starters.
Yeah, I wanna say 2 years ago, they had 1 actual starter in their rotation.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of years where it's been
Yeah.
really
You
rough
have like
there.
Tuki Toussaint signing
Duke
mid-season and
Duson.
all sorts of dudes that are you're just like, oh my goodness. Like Enyel De Los Santos.
Enyel De Los Santos.
Like it's just holy smokes. I think we're past
Uh,
it.
I will say, Addison Coffee looked
Ooh, looked good. He looked
phenomenal.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, looked very good.
So I think the issue with him is they thought that he like walked too many guys.
Last year
But he's
he,
pretty
they
nasty.
even mentioned it on the broadcast that he only walked like 1 guy to every 3
Yeah, I
strikeouts.
know, but they like demoted him from Charlotte to Birmingham, and there had to be a reason why.
Yeah,
And
no,
the
for
only thing
sure.
I could think was like he was walking people.
Yeah, I don't know. It's to me, I kind of feel like, we've talked about this before with the park factors. It's just super hard to pitch in Charlotte,
Yeah.
and especially when you're just finally getting a Major League Baseball in AAA.
Hmm. Oh
I
yeah.
think that just makes it that
Wait,
much more
are they
tough
doing that this year? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's right. So they use the Major League ball still. Charlotte does.
in
Or
AAA.
triple.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
yes. Doug says we really need some outfielders in AAA, some actual
Well,
outfielders.
so I mean, you're probably gonna have Tristan Peters and Jared Kelenic and Derek Hill, and you're gonna like it. So
You'll get that, and you will like it.
yeah, and maybe some
Uh,
Sam Antonacci in the outfield.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, from the conversation that I had with him, he's gonna be playing some outfield.
Yeah,
So, should be interesting. We'll see how
right.
he does.
Could
Oh,
be
yes,
how
and
it
Drew
could be how
Baker.
he gets up. Oh yes, you can't forget about Drew. What about Darren Baker?
Darren Baker. Well, he's a utility player, so
Yeah, so
you
he's
could
not playing
technically
much
put him in the
outfield, right?
infield.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
will Caden Connor be in Charlotte, or is he going back to double?
That's a good question. He ended the year in Charlotte. So he could be playing first base at Charlotte because he
Mm,
got no Tim Elko for at
right.
least a month and a half, probably. So you're going to need somebody at first base. I don't know who they're
Yeah.
penciling in at
Yeah.
this
No, that
point.
makes sense. So baseball, Dylan and Elijah said include Paez as one of the players to be named later. I wonder where they got that idea from, Ian. I don't know who would have potentially brought up something like that in our
I don't
group
know.
chat. But yeah, so the issue with that Jetix Paez thing, like as a player to be named later, I think he has to clear waivers first. It's like kind of like the Mike Vassell thing. Like, so Mike Vassell was a Rule 5 pick last year, and I forgot who took him. Was it Tampa, I think?
I
So then
forget.
he didn't make their team. They DFA'd him, and then he's basically free on waivers to anybody who wants him, but he's still under Rule 5 rules. And then the Sox claimed him and kept him on the team all year. So I think Paez would have to go on waivers first and clear, and then then Boston could include him as the player to be named. But that would be pretty cool. That would be because then you're like not stuck with Paez on your big league team.
Yeah, we did mention it earlier, Dawn. Who knows?
Like, why did Jacob
Who
Gonzalez?
knows?
The question was essentially like, why is Jacob Gonzalez playing? Like, who is this guy and why is he on my TV? Type of thing. It's
Yep.
early. Spring training's weird.
Yep. So the last pitcher that closed out the game against the A's was Chase Plymel. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 2 hits and a K. But his K was Leo Dallas DeVries, the number 4 prospect in baseball that just got traded from the Padres to the A's.
For Mason Miller.
Yeah. So that was a pretty big deal, and he got to see Chase Plymel's funky arm angle and didn't protect. Oh, it is Dong. All right. I didn't want to. I didn't want to offend anybody. Didn't want to offend anybody. You never know.
I didn't know if it was Don G. Malone.
Yeah, Don G. Malone.
Or if it's Dong Malone. Same difference, right?
Yes, Kelly was not Jared. That was what's his name?
It wasn't Jared Kelly, was it?
No, it's not Jared Kelly. It's
a different Kelly, right?
It is, and I can't remember Jackson Kelly. That's what it is. Jackson Kelly.
Where did he come from?
That I don't remember.
Are you sure Jared didn't just change his name?
Legally, maybe. No, I looked him up just a few days ago, and I forgot where the heck we got him from. Drafted in by the Texas Rangers in 2022. Yeah, he was a free agent that we signed from the Rangers.
All right,
that's what it was.
How do you think they decide like which guy? Like, hey, you 5 guys, come here. You're coming with the team today. You're probably going to play at some point. Just be ready.
Yeah, it's weird, but like you see the names in the in the lineup card, and sometimes like even some of those guys that play weren't even on that card. It's kind of crazy.
I love when the announcers don't know. Like, I was in the car the other day listening to Cub Sox, and Darren Jackson's like, I have no idea who this person is, because they don't like if they don't send you the accurate numbers like roster, like even the announcer, like like Len Casper is like trying to do his best and he called somebody by the wrong name, and Darren Jackson's like, I don't think that's that guy. Like, it's just like, I think that's some other person.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago that the A's, they had Henry Bolte.
Oh yeah.
And the guy on the broadcast was just calling him Henry Bolte.
Henry Bolte.
Yeah, it's Bolte. I mean, why I know that, I don't know, but all right, so let's get into this last day here before we get into this this draft thing here.
Yeah.
No, Mike Vassell made this.
Talk. Sorry, guys. No, I'm just
yes.
kidding. That's
fine. Yeah, right. Get through an episode without some rock talk. Come on. Yeah. So Mike Vassell made the start today. Got 2 outs, and then Luke Bell came in and spelled him. Got the 3rd out. They brought Vassell back out. He got another 2 outs, and then Luke Bell came out and got him out of the inning again. Vassell was all over the place today. It's kind of one of those things where you have a reliever make a start and it doesn't go well. That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, he's another guy in the starting pitching competition.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
gonna beat out Eric Fetty for a starting spot, even though Fetty has guaranteed money. Yeah.
Yeah, that is not happening. Yeah, Luke Bell. He pitched pretty well, I thought.
All right. Get to your guy. Get to your guy. I know who you're dying to talk about.
I mean, he's last though, so
Yeah.
I'll wait.
Like
Jordan Leisure pitched an inning, gave up a bomb, 2 hits, 2 Ks. And then Sean Burke pitched today, and he looked pretty good, I thought. Extended his pitch counts a little bit with a walk, but I thought he pitched pretty well. He looked kind of like 2025, September 2025.
yeah, his last 4 starts last year pretty good.
Yeah. And then Ryan Barucki pitched.
I think
1 inning, 1 walk, 1
he's got an
strikeout.
outside shot at making the team, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's possible.
And if not, he'll be in Charlotte. He's like a local Mundelein guy. So grew up a Sox. I think he'll be like in the org.
Yep. Tyler Gilbert pitched. He looked fantastic. He looked very tough for these guys to pick up. It's like they had absolutely no idea what they were looking at.
Well, then there you go. Screw you, Aaron Combs. Like that's.
Yep. And of course, Tanner McDougal finished the game. Last 2 innings, scoreless. Gave up 1 hit, had 2 strikeouts. Was throwing 100 almost 101 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's just
the fastball was, he was getting creative with his spots, but the breaking balls, once he settled down a little bit, they were nasty.
yeah. You think
How
that's
soon do
like?
you think we see him?
Do you think that was anybody's like first time? Like, was anybody like, who's this McDougal guy, or is he like too well known now? Or is it maybe people have like people have heard the name and they know he's good, but they haven't like seen this like young hulking righty throw like 100, and they're like, oh, this is like a thing. I mean, I don't know. Is he the first guy? Like, if they need a spot start, right? Is it Tanner? Is it Cannon? Is it Davitt? Like they're all they're like all on the 40. Yeah, I mean, I think he gets the first crack at like a permanent spot for sure. He's tricky though, right? Because like you could argue like if they were good, you could throw him in the bullpen. But he's a future starter, so like he needs innings. So he either has to be starting in Charlotte or starting in Chicago. But we're definitely going to see him because he's awesome. So I don't really know.
So Kev, we actually have 2 Mundelein guys. We have Ryan Barucki, who's the new guy, Mundelein, and also Riley Gowans, also
yes.
Mundelein.
Correct. I thought he was Libertyville, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was. They're right next to each other ish.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, yes. Technically, Tanner did get the save, I guess. That makes sense. All right, so let's move to the Major League Baseball draft. Please don't. I know everybody in the comments doesn't want to have anything. Doesn't want to talk any draft. Doesn't want to talk about rock. But we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. So we kind of talked about like a little bit last week how some people were like, "Oh my god, like they have to go through the process, and are we getting a little too excited?" and that whole thing, right? And then he went on to hit like 5 bombs this week. Like the dude has 6 homers. Like it is basically just like I've had like casual fans text me because they kind of know we do this and like I'm like whatever, and they're like, so is this rock guy like this awesome? Like, it's just like, it's pretty good. Like it seems like he's pretty decent at the old baseball thing. So yeah, like I wrote an article for today. I like to do these draft notebooks. So we don't know the bonus pools yet. Like they're not released. Last year there was an increase of 4.8%. So if there's a similar increase, I kind of like laid it out pick by pick, right? The Sox would have like just under $19 million to spend, like with the 5% overage. They always do that. One of the things with that, the Pirates have 2 extra picks and the Rays have 1 extra pick. So both teams are going to have more money than the Sox. Like they can each spend like 20 mil, but last year the Pirates didn't sign their second rounder, which is why they have an extra pick this year, and they didn't spend any of the 5% overage. because that is just like the epitome of like stupid and cheapness. But so we'll see, right? Like the Rays are usually pretty good about it. So one of the questions I had, like at the very, like we booted up, right? And right away, baseball tossed. Like, can you explain the bonus pool money, how it works? Because can't the team pay Rock more than the White Sox could offer? Doug had the same question. I've had this similar question, like on Twitter, essentially all day, right? So, like in theory, could someone pay him more? Yes, but like the Sox have the number one pick, so like the Sox will take Rock Chalowski if Rock Chalowski is the top player. You like to have an agreement in place, but I mean, he really has no recourse at all, and you don't want like a bad relationship with the player and the agent, nor do I think you would. But I mean, like, if you take him and you're like, yeah, dude, it's 10 million bucks, like that's 700,000 more than anybody's ever made before, and his only recourse is to then go back to UCLA for another year.
Not happening.
It's just not going to happen. Like,
Nope.
so he'll take your 10 million, and look, like maybe the Rays or maybe the Giants are like, oh, we'll give you 11.5 if you can get down here. Like, it just doesn't really matter that much. So I really wouldn't be that concerned about it. The class is really good, as you guys have probably seen. Like Justin LeBron also looks fun and awesome. Grady Emerson's really good. Dylan Flora, the pitcher from UC Santa Barbara, is pretty good, but they're not this guy. So, I haven't really given Ian the floor a ton on this, and he watches me and Elijah and argue in the group chat about things and kind of just like sits back and even keeled. Like, Ian, what do you think of Rock Chalowski? Pretty decent at baseball, I think.
Yeah, so I think he's excellent. So when I sit here and I watch this guy play baseball, because I've started watching the Rock games here and doing highlights for him and everything. Um, as mentioned in the comments here, he's very well rounded. Great contact, great power, great in the field. And one thing that he's a leader with the team, and he's this is the thing that really stood out to me on Friday night. They're playing on Fox Sports 1, and he comes up on a national game, and he got the pitch that he's supposed to hit, and he smoked it. He didn't overthink it. He didn't push too hard. Nice, fluid, easy swing, hit it over the wall. And that's what you look for. You look for somebody that the moment's not too big for. You know? He knows everybody's watching him. He knows he's the 1-1 guy. So when he goes out and he just keeps on hitting these bombs, and he's doing it against good competition too. We're talking about TCU, the number 7 ranked team in the country. Yeah, he's good. He had grand slam. Yeah. I mean, it's huge. And the fact that everybody says that this guy's the 1-1 and the White Sox have a shot at it. We just hope that they don't get too cute about it.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem so. I mean, I've seen some stuff here in the comments. Like Howard said he heard that Rock recently had lunch with Phil Nevin. I did not hear that, but like, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. This is basically what Phil Nevin is doing. He's just traveling around and seeing all the big guys. I do know that Jim Thome was there the other day to watch Rock Chalot. He was there to watch UCLA TCU. But I mean, come on, like, what do you think he was doing? I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Getz like has somebody at like every series, right? It's like, oh, Josh Barfield's going this time. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go see USC at Michigan State and visit my parents, or like what? Like if you're Chris Getz, right? Like I just think they're gonna be well represented. It doesn't really matter if anybody else, you know what I mean? Like I think the thing that I will find interesting is, and obviously they have Gasparino and they have other prospects, right? But do you think like other teams are even just like, do they stop scouting Rock Chalowski? Like, are you like, well, we're not getting him. Like it's like move on to the next target, like essentially. Because yeah, I mean this thing, like we talked a little bit in the pre-draft and or in the pre-meeting. And look, we're gonna talk about Rock all year. Like you don't have to twist my arm to talk draft, right? But like it's just like me and Ian talked like in other sports, right? Like we knew like Connor Bedard was going to be the number one pick of the Blackhawks and Caleb Williams. And like Ian mentioned the Bryce Harper draft. And like when Victor Wenb, it's just this is like this guy's going to be the number one pick. And the White
So
Sox and the White Sox have the
on
number one
that
pick.
note, I'm going to bring up Emiliano's super chat here. When the Bears had the number one pick, they didn't look or interview anyone except Caleb Williams. The White Sox should do the same with Rock. He's the guy.
Well, I
What do you
mean,
think?
no, I think you still do the process. I just ultimately think we know where the process is going to lead. You know, like I mean, yeah, like you still have to, you know, like the area guys and your cross checkers will be at Justin LeBron games, and you know they'll be watching Grady Emerson in Texas and Trey. Cover your ears right now. They're probably going to watch Dylan Flora pitch some, I would imagine, like at UC Santa Barbara. We can just get the scouting report from our guy Elijah. But I mean, yeah, like but then I think we ultimately know like what they're gonna do. I did make a note um in the draft article, and look, a lot of it was about Rock and how it's okay for you guys to be excited. It's fine. Follow the FutureSox Twitter and watch this guy just absolutely rake. It's okay. We can get excited. There was a note from Jim Callis about Landon Tomey. Did you see that?
I did not.
Yeah. So Jim jeez, Jim Callis had a mailbag, and within it there was like I don't know how he got to this, but it basically said that like the entire industry knows that the White Sox covet Jim Tomey's son Landon. And the only question
Of
is
course.
whether he'll be on the board at 41. And I'm just like, man, I hope Landon Tomey gets a lot better like this year for you to already be, you know, because I just
For him to not be on the board
it's a
at
really
41,
good draft class, man.
yeah.
Like so yeah, we'll see. I mean, he's local. We're gonna hear all about him, but that rumor is like out there obviously. And then I did like a mini mock draft and put all the top guys in. So yeah, you can read that on the site. Rock Chalowski though, pretty fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've had fun watching UCLA. That team is a lot of fun, and the bats, like I talked about Will Gasparino earlier. That guy's a lot of fun. This is something that I've talked about. That
Mm.
David mentions here that if he tears his ACL, is he still number one?
Um, probably, but you try to get like a discount. I think, like because that's the only non-plus tool is the run tool.
Yeah,
He's just above. He's just like average to above average.
yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's pretty good. He's not a
yeah.
burner, but he's all
He's an
right. Yeah,
okay runner, but I think I wrote in my article today that his makeup is his fifth plus tool, baby. All we hear about is the makeup. It's
yep.
pristine.
His makeup is his makeup. I mean, you watch his interviews. I don't obviously you don't know what's going on in the clubhouse to see how he actually is. You see what's front facing, but as of right now, he seems like that kind of guy that you want on your team.
Yeah.
So
AJ Johnson asked a question. So, yeah, there's like Jared Grinliner. I don't know if you saw this. So he reclassed from 27. So he was Baseball America's number 3 high school player in next year's class. This dude's like super young. Like he's like barely going to be 17 at draft time, and he's like a monster. I do think he's probably better as a left-handed pitcher. So who knows where he's going to go, because the high school pitching class is really, really good, but these guys all kind of fall lower than they should because teams are like afraid to draft them. So, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, this class like is getting better still, and it's like was already like really good. And then there was like a note about Joseph Contreras. So Joseph Contreras was like a 5th round pick type guy, and then now he looks like he's gonna go in like the top 40.
is he pitching for Cuba? Who's he pitching for? Somebody in the WBC, right?
Brazil.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Brazil, I think he's pitching
Yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's the youngest pitcher in the WBC. Yeah, he's disgusting. So that's Jose Contreras' son, and he throws a forkball that's gross. Um, yeah, it's kind of interesting. We talked about this a little bit with Ben Badler, how two guys who work for the team, Jose Contreras and Jim Thome, both of their kids are awesome.
Uh, Question here.
Yes.
Why didn't Jack Bauer get drafted last year? Asked for too much money.
Yep, too much money. I think he wanted like 4 million plus, and it was just not enough history, like on the good side in high school. It was a lot of walks. I mean, he threw 100, but it just he just hadn't been good enough to get that kind of money out of high school. I mean, if there were like unlimited bonus pools, I'm sure somebody might have paid him $4 million, but it's just when you only have like a finite amount of money, it's kind of tough to do.
Yeah, he looked good in the eighth inning. Like the ninth inning, he ran into a little bit of trouble, but he looked like he's just progressing.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Hey, how about this last one here? D Perch. What did you guys think of the Billy Carlson bomb off of Opera? So the funny thing about this is, like, obviously, like we've been talking about the Billy Carlson armbar and like if he's ever gonna hit, like that's the question, right? And we saw like those half-hearted swings like in the cage, and it was like, like that's like kind of an ugly looking swing. And then literally the next day, like we see his Instagram where he's like hitting bombs off Christian Opper.
Yep, I was sitting there watching his swings in the cage, and I was like, those swings look lazy.
Yeah, that was bad.
I don't know about that. And then the next day we see him putting one like out dead center against Christian Opper. You take that.
Yeah, that'll work.
It's good to see.
So yeah, we'll see where Billy ends up. I'm sure there will be reports at some point, like if it's a big time swing issue still, like do you start him in rookie ball? I think him being in rookie ball would be a red flag for the 10th overall pick personally. So I'm expecting Kannapolis, but I think he spends like the majority of the year in low A with Fausti.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, unless he goes out there and he's just hitting the ball all over the place, which is an outcome that I think that we would all rejoice
Yeah, that
over
would
if we
yeah,
actually did see it.
right, that would be great. And like we can actually watch the games if he's in Kannapolis, so that's what I'm kind of hoping for.
Yeah. All right. So, you got anything else, James? Anything pressing on your mind?
No, I think that's it. I was just looking at the free agent list. I don't think the Sox are signing any of them, but like Lucas Giolito and Zach Littell, and I also noticed that Michael Kopech is unsigned.
I did see that.
Yeah, kind of interesting. We'll see if these guys like end up anywhere. So Lucas Giolito's like under the hood stats, like really bad. No strikeouts, really bad FIP. Like, so I'm not terribly surprised that he's not signed if he's asking for like $15 million.
Yeah. You think back to the days where you were watching him do his weightlifting videos
Yep.
at that place in Texas where he was pushing around the weighted sled and all that stuff.
Mm.
Did you ever think that we would be here, James?
No, I thought like I don't know, man. It's just so many. Yeah, I, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Michael Kopech was gonna be awesome.
Yeah. And then broke up with his girlfriend, and then she started dating Billy Seidel, and now they're married, I think. And yeah, all sorts of weird stuff happened to that dude over the last couple
And
of
I think
years.
he's rehab. I
COVID.
think he's rehabbing lower body injuries too. Like he's got like a knee injury of some sort. But he's got a World Series, so good for him.
Hey, yeah, he's got the ring. Good for him. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and walk us out then, since we've got nothing but National Enquirer gossip stuff to talk about. You have been watching / listening to the Future Sox podcast. If you are listening to this in podcast form, know that you can find us every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube and the Purple app. You can also find this podcast along with all of our written content at FutureSox.net. If you are looking for White Sox prospect highlights, you can find them on X at FutureSox and now also here on our YouTube channel. If you love the content and want to support us here at FutureSox, there is a link to our Patreon in our channel description and at FutureSox.net. You can also toss up a super chat on our YouTube stream. Also, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe with notifications so you know when we're going live while helping us in the World Wide Web algorithms. My name is Ian Eskridge at Daily White Sox. He is James Fox at James Fox 917. We appreciate all of you here at the Future Sox thing here, part of the Just Baseball Media Network. Thanks for listening and commenting in the chat. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight, guys. We appreciate all you guys. Thanks for coming up here there's the Mason Adams. The Mason Adams mention. We completely forgot that. You guys showing up every week. We really appreciate you guys. We will catch up with you guys next week. Hopefully, we've got some awesome stuff to talk about. We'll see. All right, you guys have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Night.